the announce. If you get those announcements out, you'll actually help your channel grow a lot faster and a lot more. So,
well, I definitely noticed that whenever the L2P chat is announced, there's a fair amount more viewers. I think we're sitting around 15 at the moment. I do believe it's up to around 40 whenever it's properly announced there. But you know, it's still mostly for giggles and stuff. I don't really.
For gentlemen, jiggles and gits.
Ah yeah, gentle grubs.
Alright, it seems we're going in on our last match of tonight on the map Ashes of Typhon, with WASS as the Eldar Farseer and WinLiveSuxASS currently as random.
Yeah, we're probably going to be seeing some Orky Chaos Nits or something like that. There's going to be a freak accident and we're going to have some...
Orky Chaos Nits, yeah, that's a pretty wide grasp of races there.
Yeah, we're going to have something terrible and the Emperor will cry manly tears. Zombie tears. Because he's dead.
He died. Let's talk about the map here.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward map, as you can see. The basic structure of a 1v1 map: 6 requisition points, 5 power nodes, and 3 victory points. Nothing too special, pretty symmetrical. So, it seems like WinLiveSuxASS has pulled out his main hero and his main race, the mech boy of the Evil Suns clan.
Very interesting indeed. WinLive is a fantastic mech player, I find. So this could definitely be a very good match with both players maining their races. I've actually always wondered why the map creator decided to put a power node here in the middle. It just, you know, I actually never even seen that place just get noded up. It just seems like it's completely suicidal to actually try and...
I've actually used it once or twice when my flanks were really pressured a lot, because a lot of people actually don't traverse the middle. They mostly go via the sides to actually capture the top left and bottom left victory point, or either mass around this right side victory point, because it has many paths into the foe's either power, is primary or secondary power node, and his rec point there. So it can be done if you can manage to take the foe's attention away from the middle. But more than one, just upgrading the node to mess with the foe's AI, or just one power generator, that's more than you'll want to set down there, because it's easily the most exposed node, thus easily captured as well by the foe. As you can see here, the mech boy is already engaging the Guardians. Even though he only has a small shooter to work with, he does decent damage.
It's going to be more than enough against one Guardians, although 2 might actually give him trouble if he can't find any decent cover, and it's not the best position for him to actually take up this fight.
Yeah, as he does possess the teleport ability, he might actually just teleport right in between those Guardians in that little crater there.
Oh,
that actually provides him decent cover all around, although it's only yellow, so he might not survive that long. But it's definitely an advantage for the teleporter heroes, that they can teleport into that little crater and be completely immune to melee damage, since none can actually pierce that cover.
Oh, looks like he's kicking them in the shins now.
But his chopper skills are rusty. But yeah, as you can see, the mech boy has been driven off for now. He only has about 100 HP yet left, so he's probably going to be delegated to capping duty at the moment.
Yeah, he hasn't actually retreated, and it was probably a good thing, because I do think Voss was actually banging on him teleporting just straight up from here and retreating, and those badges
that retreat path of those big boys. Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, that was
that's just very unlucky. That's why you actually, when playing Dawn of War, you really have to get a feel for the maps, know when you can retreat, and perceive or know when the AI will take a certain route. Only then you'll actually, at high level play, things like that can really punish you. So.
Yeah, definitely. In particular, I find that Orkz and Eldar in particular, they're probably one of the races you the very least want one of their melee units to be in the retreat path. They can just inflict horrendous damage if you hit the retreat button and they're not actually in view yet, and then suddenly you just find banshees all over. These Orks are actually gonna be
It's gonna have to watch out though, because even though it has banshee support, oh
dear.
dang, those special attacks really cut those sluggers up badly.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that was pretty lucky for was there, since 3 banshees at the same time actually did a whirlwind attack, dealing damage to all models, extra damage too, even I think.
Yeah, the Farseer is also gonna get away, so this is gonna be extremely good for Win. Might even lose. His mech boy is gonna be fine, but
but
absolutely incredible.
Losing his slugger squad and a shooter squad with big shooters, this match ain't gonna go WinLive's way.
He is getting out the Storm Boys now, but that's gonna be quite difficult. He can tie up the Shuriken platform, but both Guardians position well, and the Banshees are just gonna be tearing those boys apart.
Yeah, because the thing is, even though the Shuriken cannon will be the prime target for the Storm Boys, was a very intelligent Eldar player, and he will most likely guard his Shuriken platform with the Banshees, which, when as soon as the Storm Boys drop, he can just wash out them down, start hacking away, while the Shuriken platform can just relieve itself from its position, move a bit back, and start firing again.
Yeah, I do believe Voss is probably gonna do that even without the Storm Boy, seeing how the Mech Boy could just teleport in and start kicking them in the shins to reset them up, but with Banshees around, he's not gonna be able to keep that up for more than a few kicks. It's only annoying those...
I'm also very surprised to actually see a Shuriken platform when against a Mech Boy, since its teleportability can just make it completely null and void by tying it up in melee. I figured he'd actually want to bank on...
Those Banshees is actually in a pretty bad position. They've taken a decent amount of range fire and... oh dear.
Yeah, but those Storm Boys, they're pretty much
yeah, they're not going to be able to catch up.
They're terrible chasers, because they always do their leap into the fray. And because of that animation, like I said earlier, they won't be able to get in a chop, thus kill models. But yeah, as you can see, even though the Banshees have been driven off, same with Shuriken Cannon, he has nothing on the map. Almost everything is capped by Woz here.
Yeah, somehow he actually still has his power node intact, but that's pretty much the only thing he's got going for him. He's pretty much got nothing that can seriously force off his Farseer at the moment, aside from concentrated fire, and that will require both his mech and the shooter squad firing.
Yeah, aside from that, he only has 50 power, while actually Woz is already halfway tier 2. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna either see a Wraith Lord or a Falcon hit the field. As soon as that happens, WinLive is gonna throw in the towel.
Yeah, I do believe one of the spectators mentioned that if the Orks actually managed to pull out a win out of this, he would be listening to Justin Bieber songs for a few days in a row. I would not want to take that bet, but honestly, I would be absolutely amazed if he pulled something like that off. Honestly,
yeah,
honestly, the only hero I could actually think of
even though he's
that would probably be the Commando Knob he actually got off a sneaky burner bomb. That could turn the fight around, but I don't think the mech has the capability to do something as completely devastating in the...
The only thing the mech can actually do with these vehicles is use its awesome teleportability in combination with the DmE Def Gun, but he's got to be tier 2 to actually buy the DmE Def Gun. Same with the Ork, with the knobs for the Ork, with some power melee and such, but by the time the Wraith Lord's out, it'll be all over for him.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised he's actually invested that heavily in tier 1. I mean, I do know that he needs the units to actually try and get a map presence back, but
yeah,
not only has he gotten both Storm Boys and Looters out, now he's getting a Slugger, he's also gotten both Battery Pack and Proximity Mines from the Mech Boy.
Yeah, I think he's, because of those 2 early losses, he's feeling really outnumbered at the moment and really wants to get back into the game by throwing a lot of money at his tier 1 units, but
honestly, I do think he could
actually
losing out Voss off a bit if Voss wasn't getting that Wraith Lord, but once that thing actually reaches the front line, he's just going to be...
As soon as he's...
That Shuriken platform goes down to a very nice special attack that actually knocked it right back into the fray.
And even though the Banshees were hacking away, he's actually managed to heal the Stormboys with his have a taste from the battery pack from the Mech Boy. Even though it wasn't sufficient to kill the Banshees, he did manage to keep him alive long enough for the Sluggers to arrive and drive off the Eldar in the meantime.
Yeah, it was actually a very nice engagement for WinLive there. He took a lot of models off both the Banshees and those Guardians, killed off the Shuriken platform. I mean, if it wasn't for this Dreadlord coming in a moment and Win having no counters for at least a few minutes, this could actually still be quite interesting. And I mean, I'm not gonna count out WinLive yet. There's one thing I've learned about this guy is he does not quit.
Yeah, he's resilient, but I don't know if he's be able to. Thing is, he already needs. He has enough power to tier 2 now, but it's gonna take a while before he actually hits there, and then he needs to either get a DmE looter on his Mech Boy or on his looters. So even though he has a spark of hope left now, he's actually taking to tier 2 himself. He's gonna lose all that map control in a bit, I think, when before he can actually make a DmE looter.
Yeah, he did manage to get off a triple cap, which is nice. But yeah, it's gonna be a long time before he actually has the means to take down this raid floor. Yeah, he probably needs to get a DmE looter on both the mech and the looters, and even then, the fast does have a lot of options to shut that down. He just has a ghost helmet out, which is going to allow him to shut down one of the suppression team, and I think that's what she's going to be doing. No, she uses it on the sluggers, which are just going to get gunned down right now.
Yeah, because those Guardians were actually taking terrible damage from those sluggers, and even though the Raid was trying to set up, he was going to lose those Guardians if he didn't pay attention.
And this Raid Lord isn't even bothering to punch people, he's just shooting things with his...
yeah, I'm pretty surprised. He's probably stuck in that stance at the moment, but if he would have just run up and started stabbing those looters, the Farseer would have taken a lot less damage.
Probably, yeah, but still the Shuriken Cannon... The Raid Lord is pretty much the only walker who can seriously stay in range mode and still do excellent damage against normal infantry.
Yes, actually, even when he buys the Bright Lance Cannon, his second upgrade, he can only fire that mounted shoulder gun when he's standing completely still. So
yeah, there's a reason you don't see a lot of people actually go that Bright Lance thing. But it is also a major advantage for the Raid Lord that it actually doesn't lose any melee damage compared to most other walkers when they upgrade to a... I mean, Dreadnoughts tend to lose out if they decide to go for their ranged options, but the Raid Lord retains a decent effectiveness in melee, although I do think Dreadnoughts actually beat them in a straight-up fight.
As we can see indeed, as Pom also suggested, the mines placed right between the two VPs on the left side is actually buying WinLiveSuxASS a beautiful bunch of seconds.
Yeah, he's definitely not giving up. There's the DmE looter on the DmE looter there. The beamer.
Yeah, the DmE looter on the Mech Boy, definitely the best option at the moment, because with his teleport ability he can actually teleport while being set up like he did just now, continuing to barrage that Raid Lord.
Yeah, it's definitely incredibly effective against the...
As you can see, he has a tremendous range as well, so he just needs to teleport once more.
He needs to take out that gate before it starts actually summoning in Banshees or something like that.
Yeah.
And he does have tank busters.
Seems he also has tank busters. Maybe a bit too overzealous in that regard, but...
Yeah, I can't really blame him for that though. He might actually stand a fighting chance if he does manage. Ooh, that was not a bad barrage at all. And this Raid Lord is in really critical condition. The Banshees did force him to...
Yeah, if those Stormboys jump in, the Mech Boy goes for another teleport, he might actually get it off, because with the Stormboy not out, those Guardians will be stunned.
That was...
Oh, wow. Even though they were heavily wounded, the Mech Boy was actually able to heal those back up.
Yeah, I honestly thought he would be losing a ton of members there. I'm quite amazed that he'll actually manage to go off in time. But yeah, things are actually looking much better for WinLive than I would have anticipated even possible. This Dreadnought, Raid Lord, I'm sorry, is going to take a while to repair, and if he's actually going to be using both his Guardians for that, suddenly Voss isn't going to have much of a field presence at all.
Yeah, even though he's actually pushed that Raid Lord back real badly, he doesn't, now that the storm points are out, he really needs something against that Farseer to keep them off their...
Yeah, Ludas are doing a decent job at this. Artark drop.
Ludas, even though they were attacking the Farseer, now Artark calling in. You better get that squad right out of there or he's gonna die. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think even retreating would have mattered at this point. But the Artark is
it's an incredible one more slice and it's done for. He might be able to have a taste at Luta to actually... No, that's not gonna work.
I think it might still
the only
be...
thing, like I said, the only thing that can save it now is a special attack from the Autark, and actually that happens a lot with the Autark when he's chasing down units and just need that last slice, you just go for a special attack and you totally miss that opportunity because of luck.
Yeah, I do think that I've heard talked about a sort of competitive mod that does some very subtle changes, and one of them is that retreating units and vehicles get 100.
That flux squad is... Oh, that knob took a grenade right through the face of those guardians when charging towards that Raid Lord. That's going to be a costly reinforcement, but please do continue. You were saying?
Yeah, I kind of lost the...
About the competitiveness mods doing something.
Yeah. One of the few changes I suggest was adding 100 melee skill to retreating units and vehicles, which would basically mean that no one would be doing special attacks against those, and these kinds of lucky incidents wouldn't be happening. I can actually kind of see the reason behind this. Oh, I think that was the last mine blowing down in the south, keeping these guardians from capping for a little longer.
Yeah, even though it's only 1 or 2 seconds, it does allow WinLive those precious 1 or 2 seconds of extra income or extra victory points that can, in the long run, actually make or break a game too. But that's only we're talking here about high-level play. When it comes down to more of the casual game, seconds really don't mean all that much.
And I'm very impressed here. Looks like Voss was trying to snipe the Stormboy up with the Ghost Helmet, but WinLive does manage to heal the Stormboys once again, getting a fantastic use out of this battery pack and managed to keep the squad completely healed up despite that. And it does look like someone's going to be listening to Justin Bieber if this keeps up after all. Very, very impressed that WinLive has actually managed to stay in this game. Honestly, thought he was going to concede and play a rematch at one point, but again, he says one stubborn orc, and honestly, it's...
but that's how we like him.
Exactly. Orcs never quit.
As you can see, the Raid Lord has almost been completely healed, but it took all this time to actually repair that Raid Lord with 2 Guardian squads.
Yeah, WinLive is now in the lead with the victory points, and he does have a very potent force. He's both got the Beam Eluders and the Tank Busters to force away this Raid Floor, so it's not going to have as much free reign as it looks like.
As you can see, once again, those proximity mines slowing down the main army just for a few seconds, so that WinLive can actually act accordingly and bring over his main army from the right VP down to the top left there.
I do wonder what he's doing with his regular looters at the moment with WinLive. He's got them set up kind of close to the victory point, but not close enough to actually defend them proper, I find. Not to mention that he hasn't cloaked them. He probably knows at this point that Voss is pretty much pushing this left victory point.
He's probably not actually cloaking them and keeping them far away from the VP to actually... oh, that was a bit of lag. Keeping them far away from the VP so they don't get actually sniped. And as soon as the enemy starts capping it, he can suppress it with his looters and is notified actually that something's wrong there. And even though cloak would help, he's far too busy with handling the top VP, the top left VP, so those shooters are free to fire as soon as enemies approach, so they don't have to be babysat.
Voss had some very nice positioning going on right now with his one spotter standing behind the shield.
The custom force field there to bounce away those banshees and keep them off his own melee units.
Yeah, definitely a good use of them, and those main cores actually still... Oh, there's the Call the Boys ability.
Oh, very nice. Those Call the Boys. He's actually have a auto reinforce for about 15 seconds, so
this could be incredibly dangerous for Voss if he doesn't react to this. He's not going to be able to win this Well, he might be able to win this battle, as I don't think that the tank.
There's only one problem though.
take
Those
out
tank busters are not firing on the Raid Lords. He should really focus on that Raid Lord and claim victory here. Oh, the Banshees seem to have fallen thanks to Call the Boys. But now we got the Farseer and Autark trying to tangle up that tank buster squad, and he's trying to nade his own Raid Lords in order to, even though it doesn't do all that much damage to the Raid Lord itself, it will bounce back those melee squads and get them off his precious vehicle.
Yeah, he's jumping off the Stormbots at this point. They've certainly done their part there, and I do think the
Farseer eating it to those sluggers there, and I'm not sure if the Autark is. There we go. Getting greedy indeed. Was. But yeah, as you can see, the Call the Boys, a very handy global ability to help your army out in a pinch. Auto reinforcing for 15 seconds can really push the tide here, even though it's pretty detrimental to lose a lot for your score at the end. It's all about winning the game, right?
Yeah, and of course, if you are against a superior force, you do risk feeding a ton of experience and red to your opponent if you use Call the Boys. But I do want to, while we have a bit of a call moment, compliment Voss positioning for the battle with the Guardians. One Guardian squad behind the shield. He kept another Guardian squad behind him, out of sight, as well as both the Banshees and Wraithlord within range, but still out of sight. So when those Stormboys jumped in, they were pretty much surrounded right from the get-go, without it being quite apparent early on. Very impressive positioning there, and pretty much Call the Boys.
Gotta reveal that loot at WinLive. Oh, there we go. He was actually keeping that loot in position, but he was not firing on those Guardians, so he's now going to lose that victory point, getting uncapped, and thus losing more and more victory points. And even though the victory point count is pretty even at the moment, that Avatar is going to turn the tide pretty badly.
Oh, very much so. WinLive is getting out Nobs, so which is pretty much the best counter we can feel against those things. There's no Banshees out, which is going to vastly make it much more difficult to counter the Nobs for Boss at this point. Ooh, there's
Once
another
again, full use out of that battery pack, healing those sluggers from half health all the way back up to full, enough to pummel that Autark back.
I don't think this Wraithlord is going to get out of there alive. The Mechboy is nicely set up. He has energy for another teleport, and the sluggers could probably just.
The sluggers need to attack now.
Nah, he's just going to port in and boom, down it goes.
Very nice, very nice. As you can see, Woz is really getting flustered here, as he has the match right in his hand and is starting to lose territory left and right.
Yeah, he does still have the advantage in regards to victory point, but WinLive is finally going to be capping his natural victory point, and he's pretty solidly holding the middle one.
Oh, the Stormboys, those just got out just in time, as the Farseer's Ghost Helmet was actually keeping them in position while the Avatar tried to destroy them with his ability.
Yeah, it looks like the Nobs are heading out to intercept this. I don't know if. Yeah, of course he's seen the Avatar, and he's sending out his Nobs to try and intercept it. Got the Frenzy ability out first. He's now following up the Nob.
He's still going to need the hammers to really annihilate that Avatar with his Nobs, though. Even though Frenzy and the Nob leader will aid greatly, those hammers are what makes the Nobs the fearsome tier 3 killers that they are.
Thing is, at this point he doesn't even really need to kill the Avatar. It can't cap after all, so he pretty much just needs to force off the Farseer like this, and well, at this point Boss only has the Guardians and the Autark out in the field, and they don't really have that great a match. I mean, they can easily take out these sluggers that are now intercepting, but I do believe that WinLive has the forces necessary to force them back as well.
And even though the Avatar is very potent against
that's not a bad grenade at all. Oh dear.
Oh, those
goes down again.
Oh, he's not paying attention to those Nobs down at the Avatar. Ooh, taking decent damage from that ability there. But yeah, when they were actually fighting the Avatar and the Farseer, those Nobs and those Stormboys, WinLive was actually confident to stay in, because he did see that the Avatar used his I don't know what the name is, the Whale of Terror or something, that's straight, that forward.
Another battery pack on the knobs and now fully ready to fight once again. He's gonna be using the knobs to try and block it from intercepting his neck, and they're just gonna wail on him while he's trying to.
While its Avatar is just trying actually to buy time. There's.
Oh, I actually didn't think it would be hitting the knobs. Didn't do all that much damage, but it's...
Yeah, but the knockback actually gave enough breathing room to the Avatar. I'm still... The Avatar is actually...
the mech is now firing again.
Trying to buy time so that the Autarch and the Guardians can capture the left side, but the Autarch and the Guardians just can't stand all that melee prowess of those Storm Boys, especially when they're level 2 with a knob supporting them.
Yeah, this Orkz is actually starting to get serious damage. She gets a special attack off, which I think is gonna be saving her lives there, but yeah, those Storm Boys pretty much just forced off the rest of Voss' army right there. This, yeah,
as you can see, that Avatar, even though it was a lot of time, it's losing HP fast, and with the Mech Boy healing those knobs back to full, with just a single ability, that Avatar can never pray to actually beat him one-on-one.
And it looks like Win is going all out at this point. He's now getting the super tough beam, which is just gonna make those guys incredibly...
Yeah, reducing range damage and all to really keep that squad alive. But the thing is, the knobs are indeed what are turning this match around for knobs in combination with the Mech Boy's battery pack. Because, as you can see, this is a strategy you don't see with the Warlords or the Commando knob, and because the Mech Boy is such a rare hero, people are not prepared for it.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, the battery pack is. I've seen some people mention that the Mech Boy is probably the best apothecary in the game at the moment, the best healer, and that's not unfounded at all. That battery pack heals for a ton.
Oh, Ghost Block is taking terrible damage from a nade down at the bottom, and oh, getting the Farseer Ghost Helm on the knob as well. He might be losing it again as...
Wow, I'm actually amazed. He might even make it, although the Autarch is going to try and change that.
Yeah, but the Autarch is pretty much the best capping unit in the game as well, so she's going to run towards that top left point just to draw WinLive's army away, and perhaps even pincer or catch it out of position.
I'm quite amazed that Voss has been getting this fire prism.
Oh, watch out for the ability. Whoa.
He used Frenzy to tank it, but this fire prism is in quite a bit of danger actually.
Even though the fire prism is a weak unit on its own, it has fantastic knockback, and there with the flame of Asurian actually blocking the Mech Boy's melee prowess, Fire Prism was actually saved because of it. Still got the tank, but those are only 2 miles, so they won't be able to do all that much.
Yeah, but still, it only takes a moment of where the Fire Prism is unable to, for example, kite and then a barrage, and they would be in trouble. It's definitely the right decision against the knobs, though, and he really needed something to counter that properly. Not to mention the
knobs are going to get out there, because without the Mech Boy supporting them, they're not as powerful as they should be.
Absolutely not. This the Fire Prism along with the Avatar will make very short work of them indeed.
I'm pretty surprised the Autarch is just walking past that Luta instead of just flanking it outright like it could.
I think Voss at this point has pretty much just queued the Autarch to run around in circles and cap points.
Yeah, but he should have driven off that Luta, then jump towards the VP and go from there, because now the Storm Boys are going to fly in and force her off completely.
Ooh, another grenade on the slugs, but they do react this time,
yeah.
And these Guardians are going to be in trouble now.
WinLive is currently definitely in the zone, and it's costing Voss a lot of...
Still, Voss is doing a very nice job at trying to keep victory points out of WinLive's hands, and victory points at this point are so low that just getting a 2-cap at this point can almost turn the game around in its own. Oh, there's the ability again.
Oh, once again, Ghost Helmet claiming the Slugger knob. Definitely not a cheap upgrade to reinstate.
Yeah, and it's so crucial to Sluggers actually being competent from the mid game on. So
we got the Fire Prism dealing some heavy knockback to the main army again.
Yeah, the Mech Boy is, I think he can actually make himself immune to knockback with the... Oh dear, looks like we have a time field as well as the
Oh, and the ability also, that could be devastating. That MacBoy's gotta heal those knobs pretty fast before it dies.
Oh,
Before
that
they
is some
take any
terrible
losses.
lag there. Oh dear.
Yeah, I think Zag is either lagging out because I've got a lot of messages from Zag there.
It doesn't look like it's not going to be easy for either player to actually cap this top point, but I do. Actually, I'm not even sure who's going to be able to win this. The Fire Prism is going to be incredibly hard for.
I'm surprised actually.
But at the same time,
it seems like we got a Seer Council out for Waz there. A very nice unit in these. Rarely used actually because they're mainly anti-infantry.
Oh no, the Orkz is kept in the middle, and the Looter's too far away to actually do anything about it at this point. And of course, the Seer Council is going to be a fantastic counter to these Stormboys. They do horrendous damage.
Yeah, they're a tremendous anti-infantry unit. They can actually obliterate ranged Terminators on their own. So I bet they'll do a very good damage against this Nob squad, especially with the Avatar.
Oh, I can tell it from experience. Nobs do not fare well against Seer Councils. They are incredibly dangerous.
Oh, those Nobs are taking tremendous losses now.
Looks like we do have a Looter tank up, but now Boss has actually managed to triple cap, and it's gonna be
another. There goes another Maul. Oh,
time field out.
That Waz is actually getting tremendous use out of the armor of Asuryan with that time field.
Yeah, pretty much constantly delaying, and this big boy can't keep up to the Fire Prism. He would love to get some shots off, but it's just not happening at the moment.
And like we said earlier, even though it's only seconds make the game at high level play. As we're both down to about 50 VPs for each player, this game is entering the last stages.
I don't know what's going on with these sluggers. I think the Looter tank keeps pushing them, and they constantly stop capping, and that's just not what WinLive needs at the moment. This is pretty much...
Yeah, knockback is one of the most potent things here.
It's not even knockback. I think the Looter tank messed up the pathing a few times, but yeah, it seems like it's constantly the Fire Prism is constantly stopping the capping, and honestly, I don't think WinLive can actually. I don't think WinLive can recover from this. The Seer Council is taking another point. Those Stormboys are not going to be able to take them on. You can see the Seer Council is just ripping these guys apart despite being in the firing range of the Looter.
But yeah, as you can see, rarely used the Seer Council, but in dire need against an infantry army, they're warlocks. They rip shit up. I mean...
Yeah, that was definitely the right decision, and I did think that, I don't know if Voss was lagging the red earlier on, but I do think if he had gotten it out before... Well, no, the Fire Prism ended up being instrumental in actually securing this, but I do think if he had the Seer Council out, those knobs would have been much
As you can see, we're even down to a single Warlock from the Guardians alone, trying to tie up those Looters just in time, even though he falls. It just bought enough time for the Seer Council to actually go on and cap that victory point there. Down to 5.
I don't know if the mech tried to get to the lower victory point, but he did end up going down. But oh yeah, looks like this is game and
very close game here with the Elder Farseer from us winning it narrowly, 55-0 victory points.
That was a completely ridiculous comeback by WinLive there. Honestly, I was and not only that, I was amazed that Voss actually managed to hold it together once Win actually got the ball rolling, so to say. Incredibly back and forth game. This was amazing match, in fact.
The main issue actually was that WinLive's anti-vehicle was a stationary DmE looter, and with the knockback it would actually not be able to fire. So the Fire Prism was even though it's weak, it's rarely used, it doesn't do a lot of damage, its knockback was key here to actually disturb the setup teams long enough so they couldn't first attack, and secondly keep the enemy's forces off the victory points.
Yeah, I do think at one point the mech, I don't know if the mech boy can actually use the super tough beam on him, but I did notice at one point he was actually not getting, when he had a shield up of sorts, he wasn't getting knocked back by the Fire Prism. But he didn't really get the opportunity to get those shots off, and those tank busters would have been devastating under a commander knob, but with the stealth ability, but he just couldn't get close to that Fire Prism actually do the damage he needed.
Yeah, the thing was actually while the Fire Prism had a visual on his foe because he had the victory points capped, the Mech Boy didn't have a visual of his own, so he couldn't fire back.
Yeah, Voss did a fantastic job at keeping the Fire Prism in the fight, but at the same time not leaving it open to pretty much anything Voss could feel. Not Voss, WinLive could field. And it's definitely still a very potent unit, but against some races it's incredibly hard to keep alive, and even then, even if it's against someone who doesn't have an easy counter for it, you need to use it incredibly well. And I definitely did think Voss stepped up to the plate.
Way better options for the Eldar besides the Fire Prism mostly. Even the D Cannon usually does better, but as you can see here, the Fire Prism really gave was enough the pun, I mean, firepower to take the game here. But if WinLive wouldn't have lost so many units at the beginning, I'm pretty sure he would have overcome Voss in the end.
Yeah, but still at the same time you can't help feel that Voss perhaps didn't play as aggressively as he would if Win had put up didn't lose those units early on. He probably would also have well, I don't know what would have happened really. I mean, a lot of the units that Win got might not even have happened otherwise.
All in all, it was a great match, great comeback from WinLiveSuxASS. I must give it to him. Awesome play by a rare hero, the Ork Mech Boy, and really, he could have won the game there. I mean, it was very nice plays from both guys, and must say definitely the best match to this date we had.
Yeah, definitely. It's easily one of the best matches I've cast live so far. So thanks to both players for playing that excellent match, and thanks to all our viewers. And well, thank you for joining me tonight. It was great fun as usual.
Indeed, this is Uncle Phil.
And this is Sonin signing out. Thanks for watching, and we'll be seeing you for another Gitcast at some point.
Till next time, guys.
Later.